Welcome to the Remembering Session, a healing podcast where we explore what becomes possible when we access the subconscious mind in a safe and supported way. I'm Chrystal Hart, an intuitive guide and transformational healer, and in each episode I sit down with real clients to reflect on their experiences with QHHT and subconscious healing and what shifted afterward. These are conversations about healing, integration, and coming back home to who we really are. I'm Chrystal Hart, an intuitive guide and transformational healer. And today I want to talk about something I get asked about all of the time: QHHT and BQH. If you've been curious about this work, if you've heard these names and felt something stir in you, or if you've been wondering whether it's real, whether it works, whether it's right for you, this video is for you. I'm going to answer the questions I hear most often as honestly and simply as I can. What are QHHT and BQH, and what's the difference? QHHT stands for Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. It was developed by the late Dolores Cannon, a pioneer in hypnotherapy who spent decades working with thousands of clients all over the world. Her work revealed again and again that when we access the deeper layers of the subconscious mind, profound healing becomes possible, physically, emotionally, and at the soul level. BQH stands for Beyond Quantum Healing. It was created by Candace Craw Goldman, who trained directly with Dolores Cannon and then expanded the work to be more flexible, more heart-centered, and more adaptable to each individual client. BQH honors the same foundations as QHHT, but gives the practitioner more freedom to meet each person exactly where they are. I am trained and certified in both, and in my sessions, I use them together. I weave the structure and depth of QHHT with the flexibility and heart of BQH so that your experience is as unique as you are. When I talk about this work, I'll often say QHHT/BQH, and now you know why. At the core of the work is the same. Beautiful truth. There is a part of you that holds all of the wisdom, all of the answers, and all the healing you've been looking for. This work is how we access it. What actually happens, and how does the session work? This is one of the most important things to understand. A QHHT/BQH experience is a 2-part session, and each part can run up to 3 hours or more. So you'll want to give yourself a full day for this. It's deep, sacred work, and it deserves that kind of space. Part 1 is the conversation. This is where we sit together and I get to know you, your story, what you've been through, what you've been carrying, the questions that have been living in your heart, and what you're hoping to understand or heal. This part is typically done over Zoom unless a client specifically requests to meet in person. It's a real connected conversation, and most people are surprised by how much shifts just in this part alone. Part 2 is the hypnosis. This is where we go in, I guide you into a deeply relaxed state, and from there, we do the actual subconscious and soul level work. Part 2 is done on a separate day, and I ask that it be scheduled within a week of Part 1 so that everything we uncovered together is still fresh and alive in you. Part 2 is done in person whenever possible, and if you're local, I always recommend coming in person for the hypnosis. There is something about being physically held in a safe, intentional space that allows people to go so much deeper. If a client is too far away or has a specific reason they need to be in a virtual session, we can absolutely make that work. But in person is my first recommendation. We close part 2 with integration, making sense of what came through and giving you a foundation to carry it forward. What are the questions and who answers them? One of the most meaningful parts of QHHT/BQH session is the questions, and they deserve a real attention because they are not an afterthought. During part 1, we dedicate significant time to formulating them together. This is careful, intentional work. We are not skimming over these the day of the hypnosis. We are sitting with them, refining them, making sure each one is truly ready to be asked, and that you are truly ready to receive the answer. You can bring up to 12 to 15 questions into your session. Some people come to part 1 with a list already started. Some come with general sense of what they want to explore. Either way, we build them together thoughtfully. By the time part 2 arrives, your questions have been considered deeply. We may finalize a few, tweak the wording, and add something that surfaced after our conversation, but the foundation is already there. What I'd encourage you to start doing right now before we even meet is sitting with this question. What do I most want to understand? What have I been carrying that hasn't found its answer? What would I ask if I truly believed I could receive a real, honest response? Start writing. Don't edit yourself. Let it all come out, and we will shape it together in part 1. And here's what makes it even more extraordinary. Those questions are answered by your own higher self. The wisdom, the guidance, the healing all comes through in your own voice. I cannot tell you how powerful that is to witness. People hear things come out of their own mouth that stop them completely. Things they somehow already knew but had never let themselves fully receive. That voice has always been there. This work just gives it a direct channel. What does the hypnosis actually feel like? This is nothing like stage hypnosis. I want to be really clear about that. You are not going to be out of control or unaware of what's happening. You are present the entire time. What it actually feels like is a very deep, guided meditation, or like being so absorbed in a beautiful story that the rest of the world gets quiet around you. During the hypnosis, we work in what's called the theta brainwave state. Theta is completely natural. It's the state you pass through every single night just before you fall asleep. That soft, dreamy, in-between place where the thinking mind begins to quiet and something deeper begins to surface. In our session, we simply hover there for an extended period of time. We can do the work. Your body already knows this state. You've been there thousands of times. Most people can hear sounds in the room, notice their own thoughts, and stay aware of what's happening throughout. That's normal. It doesn't mean it isn't working. It means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. What kinds of things can QHHT BQH help with? People come to this work for all kinds of reasons. Some are seeking answers to patterns that keep repeating, to relationships that don't make sense, to a feeling that something in their life is unresolved and that they can't quite name why. Some come for physical healing. There is a long history in this work of the body responding in remarkable ways when the root emotional or energetic cause is finally addressed. Some come because they feel called. They don't have a specific question. They just know it's time. And some come because they're ready to break a cycle, to heal something at the root so it stops passing forward to themselves, to their children, to the generations after them. Whatever brings you, if something in you said yes when you heard about this work, I trust that. That's your higher self speaking. Do you have to believe in past lives to do a session? No. And this is one I really want to address because I think it stops a lot of people from exploring this work. QHHT has historically been associated with past lives. And while past lives can absolutely surface in a session, that is not the whole picture. And it hasn't been for a long time. More and more, we are seeing memories and experiences from this lifetime come forward to be healed. Whatever your subconscious and higher self know you are ready to receive is what will show up. And if you don't believe in past lives, it is very likely that one simply won't present. Your system is not going to take you somewhere you aren't open to going. What I always come back to is this: whatever is revealed in a session is being shown because it is the piece that needs healing right now. Whether that's something from your childhood, a pivotal moment in your adult life, a pattern you've been carrying, or something else entirely. It's there because it's ready to be released. The work meets you exactly where you are. So if you've been curious about this but held back because of the past life piece, please don't let that be the reason. You will receive exactly what you are meant to receive. Nothing more, nothing less. Do I have to be able to visualize? No, and this is so important. I want to say it clearly. Some people see vivid scenes like a movie playing in front of them. Some people feel emotions, physical sensations, a deep knowing in the body. Some people hear, some people just have a sense of something without being able to describe it exactly what it is. There is no wrong way to experience this. Whatever comes through for you is exactly right. Your job is simply to trust what arrives and describe it. Share what you're seeing, feeling, sensing, even if it feels like you're making it up. You're not. That's the work. What if my mind won't quiet down? This is the number one worry I hear, and I want you to really hear this. A busy mind does not disqualify you from this work. In fact, a mind that can follow along, imagine, and engage is exactly what we're working with. Theta is a state your body already knows. We are simply returning something to something familiar together. You don't need to force silence. You need to be willing to follow along like a really good story is being told. That's it. Will I remember what happens in the session? This is such an important question, and the answer is that you will receive a voice recording of your entire session. This recording is yours and yours alone. I do not share it with anyone. What happens in your session is completely private, and that recording belongs to you to do with as you choose. Here's why it matters so much. People are often surprised by how much they forget, even right after the session. The theta state is similar to dreaming, and like a dream, the details can begin to slip away. That recording makes sure nothing is lost. And here's the other thing. You are going to hear things differently every time you listen. What lands on the first listen is not always what lands on the third or the fifth. As you continue on your healing journey, as you grow and shift, that recording grows with you. Things that didn't fully make sense at first begin to open up. Pieces click into place at exactly the right moment. It is genuinely one of the greatest gifts of this work. Many clients listen to their recording regularly for months, sometimes years after their session. It is a living document of your own inner wisdom. One more thing, some clients have chosen to share their experience publicly by coming on my podcast, the Remembering Session podcast. This is completely optional and something I will never pressure anyone about. But for those who feel called to it, it has been a beautiful way to share what came through, hear my perspective on the session, and perhaps offer their experience as a light for someone else who is on the edge of saying yes to this work. Totally optional, totally beautiful if it calls to you. How do I know if I'm ready? If you're watching this video, something in you is already answering that question. QHHT and BQH tend to find people when they're ready, not always when it's convenient, not always when life feels calm, but when some deeper part of them says it's time. If you feel curious if something in this resonates, if you've been carrying a question for a long time that hasn't been answered any other way, trust that this is your higher self. How can I work with you? I offer standalone QHHT/BQH sessions, and I also love pairing this work with energy healing. Specifically, I offer a package that includes 2 Reiki, Seikim, and sound sessions, one before the hypnosis to create safety in the body and nervous system, and one after to help continue moving everything that got stirred. A lot of clients find they go so much deeper this way because the energy work prepares the body to receive and then supports the integration after. I also offer QHHT/BQH as part of my deeper containers, my 3-month Journey to the Heart program, and my 6-month Unlocking the Light Within program. Both include this work as part of the journey. If you want to explore which path feels right for you, I would love to connect. All of the details and booking information are at crystalheart.com. Thank you so much for being here and for being curious about this work. QHHT and BQH are some of the most profound things I offer. And watching someone come out of a session with clarity, with relief, with that look of having finally found something they didn't even know they'd been missing. There is nothing quite like it. If this is calling you, I hope you'll say yes. Come home to your heart, heal at the root, create lasting change. I'll see you soon. Thank you for being here. If this resonated, feel free to share it or leave a review. I'll see you in the next Remembering session.